Careful. This is the moment when the supposedly dead killer comes back to life for one last scare.
You really wanna know what's wrong with this Linda? Scratching your head with your red right hand.
Hello, and welcome to One Less Scared Screamathon, with today we're looking at Scream 3. Now, Scream 3 is easily the worst film of the franchise. Without further ado, let's get into the review. So the opening kill is awful. It's the worst one yet. We're reintroduced to Cotton Weary, who is from the first two films, and he dies. And yeah, he dies in the first scene, as you can guess, because it's the opening kill. But yeah, he gets a phone call from this woman who is like a fan of his, but it's actually Ghostface using a voice changer mask, which is so stupid. The voice changer mask thing is just incredibly dumb. It's the worst part of this. It's one of the worst parts of this film. There is some arguably worse stuff, believe it or not, but trust me, we'll go over why this movie is such a mess at the end of the video. I cannot believe this was made. Yeah. So yeah, Cotton dies, same with his girlfriend, who also actually attacks him because the Ghostface in this one is using the voice changer to make it sound like Cotton is talking to her through a door and is threatening to kill her, which makes no sense because, okay, this technology. Fair enough if it sounds like exactly like a real person, you know, through the phone. But if it sounds like someone in person through like a door and it's like that loud and emotive, it just makes no sense. Okay, so moving on to the trio. We're reintroduced to Gail Weber, who's giving this speech about how for fame you have to be willing to cut out all your friends, cut out all your haters. It doesn't matter, as long as you get what you want, everything's good. Practically something like that. And then one of the like college students she's giving the speech, she goes, so because you slit everyone's throats, we're supposed to do the same thing. And then she's just like, yes, which amazing. I love that scene. I love Gail Weber. She's hilarious in these films. Dewey is great as always, also hilarious, especially this incredible line delivery. I absolutely love David Arquette's line delivery as Dewey. It's always just well, people die and Gail comes running.
Well, surprise, surprise. Someone dies and Gail comes running.
It's great. Sydney is in this as well. No shocker there. So, yeah, she's like a phone crisis operator, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense considering, you know, she has been involved and has been like the main target of serial killers who rely on phones, so it's not the smartest idea to do that. But whatever, she has like a fake name as well, but I forgot her fake name. Yeah, easily a more forgettable part of this film, but she also has these flashbacks, which are not forgettable. Not even flashbacks, just these visions of her dead mom, which I don't like. I really do not like the Sydney seeing her dead mom thing. It's really stupid, and I don't like it. As I've said, it feels like the writer of this film, who wasn't Kevin Williamson, who wrote Scream 1, Scream 2, and Scream 4, I feel like they were watching I feel like they're watching all the films back to back, and they're watching the first film, and they hear the line where Billy says, "This is like Silence of the Lambs," where Jodie Foster keeps having flashbacks of a dead dad. I feel like they saw that scene and went, oh my god, I'll write that into Scream 3. Because that's the only thing I can really think of for that. Let's move on to our main suspects. This time around, we have the cast and crew of Stab 3 as our suspects. We have Roman Bridger, Angelina Tyler even, Jennifer Jolie, Sarah Darling, Tom Prinz, I think that says, and Mark Kincaid. Mark Kincaid isn't actually a crew member of Stab. He's actually a police officer who, he's sort of one of the red herring characters, I guess. And now we're going to talk about the kills. The kills in this one are really bad. All the deaths are very bloodless, as I've said. But then we get to Tom's death. This is still bloodless, but it's just overly convoluted. And it feels like the Saw law. That's a bit of a joke, because I don't... Sure, the Saw law is convoluted, but... this might as well be a Saw trap, actually. Okay. The whole gist of the scene is inside of a house where the power's been cut, so there's no lights. Ghostface is sending a screenplay for a fax, and the screenplay is dictating what's going to happen next. So they're trying to, figure out who's going to die through that. So Tom goes in to read it, and he can't read in the dark. He's blind. He's not actually blind in the film, but he might as well be, considering the fact he can't read in the dark. I can read in the dark. Like, it's not that hard, skill issue. But yeah. And he can't read the script. So he flicks a letter on and reveals that the script is something like whoever smells the gas will be shown mercy, and boom, the house blows up and Tom dies. This is a Scream movie. I know I complain and whine about how most of the deaths in these films are always just stabbings or shootings, and then I get a death that isn't a stabbing or a shooting, and I'm like, this death sucks, but it does. It's just an explosion death, sure, whatever, but that convoluted... How did he know someone was going to turn a light on? How did he know someone didn't have a flashlight? Like, oh my god. Again, this is actually the film where I'd say most of the kills in this one are just stabbings. Which, I mean, sure, because there's only one killer in this one. Spoilers, compared to the other two, which have a little duo. But, there was meant to be 2 killers from the get-go. We'll get there at the end, but, yeah. Randy has a video scene where, he explains the rules of a trilogy, which is really fun. And, I think one of my favourite parts of that scene is how while he's trying to film the video, his college roommate is banging the door going, "Randy, it's my room too, let me in," and just asking for permission to come. It's I love that scene. Specifically, it's hilarious that this is genuinely something that would happen while filming a YouTube video, I can say. The other day when I originally filmed the Scream 2 Screamathon, but that was an older version of the video that I ended up deleting because I didn't like it. What I did, I was filming and then I heard a knock. I had to run downstairs and I had to refilm the video. It was a nightmare. But, that scene reminds me of that. Anyway, now we're going to move on to the killer reveal. This is the worst one of the franchise. And arguably, it will always be the worst one of the franchise for me, just because I hate it so much. It's revealed that Roman Bridger is the killer. And who was he anyway? Is he a writer, producer, executive producer?
Roman Bridger, director.
Oh yeah, sorry man. Yeah, director. Right. Thanks for constantly saying Roman Bridger, director. I'm a director, Sid. I would never guess you were a director, man. I would have never guessed.
Roman Bridger, director. A director, Sid. Direct.
But yeah, Roman sucks. His motive in this one is that he's actually Sydney's secret half brother, who didn't exist until this movie.
And brother.
I don't like that twist. That is I know why, because it's meant to be like a It's meant to be like the whole rule of the trilogy of discovering something that wasn't true from the get-go but is true now. Well, I mean, isn't that more of the second one? Empire Strikes Back did that in the second one, not in the third one. So why is it in the third one? Why wasn't Mickey Sydney's secret half-brother or something? It's stupid. But yeah, that's what I'm assuming the basing off of Empire's iconic, famous Darth Vader "I'm your father" scene. Makes the most sense for it to be based off of that. I can't think of another case it's based off of. But if you think that sucks, wait till I get to the other retcon for this one, which, oh my god. It's revealed that a young Roman went to Woodsboro looking for Rena Reynolds, who, I don't know if I mentioned this, but yet they retconned Sydney's mom, Maureen, to actually be an actress named Rena Reynolds, who had changed her name and went into a witness protection type thing or something like that. I watched this film last night. I've already forgot what the whole story is. It's just that dumb. But yeah, Roman's like, oh hey, I'm your son, and then she shuts him down because no, you're Rena's child. I'm Maureen. Bye. I don't like that at all. And what I especially don't like is the reveal that Roman had, put the idea into Billy's head that he should get revenge on Maureen and kill her and frame Cotton Weary. No, that's awful. If you don't know what I mean, what the whole idea is that Roman had showed proof to Billy that Sydney's mom and Billy's dad were like going out, and he didn't like that. So apparently Roman was like, oh, if you kill Maureen for me, that would be great. And he did it with Stu, and then did the events of the first Scream film. And Roman's all like, I never thought they would have made their own movie. Shut up. Oh my god, I hate Roman. I am so happy he gets shot in the head in this film. Like, if the Stu theory that Stu was alive was switched so Roman was alive, I'd hate that more. At least the Stu one. I'm a bit of a believer in that one now. I've seen a bit of evidence that like kind of supports, oh yeah, no, he could be. But Roman, oh my, never mention him again. Please. I don't think they've even mentioned Scream 3 in any of the past two films. If Scream 6 does it, I'll be amazed, but oh my god, I hope they don't. But yeah, now we're going to get into some of the changes I heard about from this film. I think the most important change I need to mention, there was going to be two killers. The first killer was, of course, Roman, and Angelina was going to be the second killer, which makes sense because there is a scene where Sydney finds her with a Ghostface costume, and she's like, it looks like she's halfway through going to put the costume on, but Sydney catches her in the process, so she doesn't get the chance to, and she makes up this lie, oh, I just wanted a souvenir from the set because the movie's getting shut down and all that. But yeah, that was a twist that would have been a bit obvious that it was her. Less obvious than Roman, who I didn't realize the worst part of Roman's character. Sorry, he faked his death and had his pulse checked by Gale, but was still deemed dead. How does that make sense? Like, I just, I don't get it. I don't like Roman. He's the worst killer in the franchise. But yeah, Angelina was going to be his secret accomplice, which makes sense because you can definitely see from some of the scenes there are two killers. There's a scene where it's in the original Sydney house. They have like a set of it for Stab 3, which people always question. Like, I've definitely seen James Edgenish from Dead Meat question why they made all the sets from Stab 1 again, but it's probably because the film's called Return to Woodsboro, so they're like, they're not recreating the events of the first film, but they're constructing new events based off the first film. If the Scream recounts come out by time I've made this video and he says exactly that, I'm gonna look like an idiot. What I will say as well though is, that's what I was saying. The whole thing with Sydney's house, the scene of it, they recreate the thing from the first film where she shuts the closet door on the door to the bedroom and it blocks Ghostface being able to get in. But then, Ghostface shows up from the window. So, considering the fact that we now know there's only one Ghostface in this film, can Roman teleport? They say he's superhuman, but I thought that just meant he had a bulletproof vest on. Like, can Roman teleport now, or another theory I've seen, which I quite like, Angelina was still the second killer, but Roman actually just betrayed her before she ever got to reveal that to make it look like he was the sole mastermind, which, you know what? he's that big of a loser for that type of thing. I could definitely see him doing that. I hate Roman so much. I'm willing to accept he did that. But yeah, that's all I have to say. I hope you enjoyed this 15-minute video of me talking about how much I hate Roman Bridger as the killer in Scream 3. Join me next time when we'll be talking about Scream 4, a film that actually has good killers. Bye!
Oh my God. Listen, I know we've never met, and I don't mind you never returning my calls, but I have to tell you, after 2 films, I feel like I am in your mind.
Well, that would explain my constant headaches.
You have made millions off the story of her murder. You're obsessed with her, and you're obsessed with her daughter!
All right, easy, Geraldo. Why don't you tell us the truth?
Somehow, we should follow him.
We're gonna go back to the precinct, and we're gonna tell Kincaid and Cindy what we found out.
Miguel would be much more aggressive. Miguel would suspect everybody. Miguel would march...